Hello there guys, what is going on? Son of Chelsea back here again for my team selector ahead of the game away to Rennes tomorrow night in the Champions League group stage. Chelsea on the brink of qualifying from the group into the knockout stages. Really positive, and considering the 0-0 draw on the opening night against Sevilla, Chelsea efficiently beating both Krasnodar and Rennes to put us into this position. I'm intrigued to see how Frank Lampard approaches this, and of course the permutations around tomorrow night. If Chelsea win against Rennes again and Sevilla either win or draw against Krasnodar, Chelsea will be through, which would really ease the pressure on those final two games. But I'm interested to see how Frank Lampard approaches this in terms of his team selection, because with the 5-sub rule in the Champions League, Frank has shown in the previous two games that there's that ability with those 5 subs to sort of influence the game from the bench, but also rotate and rest your key players if you start them. So say THIAGO SILVA against Rennes played, just over 16 minutes, then we brought him off. The game was basically done at that point. I think Ben Chilwell, it was the same as well. So you do have that flexibility within your team selection, and there could be an argument to go full strength for this game, get the job done, and then hopefully, rest some of those players. And there is a little bit of time between this game tomorrow night and also the Spurs game on Sunday afternoon. So there is time to recover and get ready for that game as well. But I do still feel there will be a little bit of rotation based on the short period of time between the Newcastle game and this one. Also, Frank was very sort of, maybe not in his press conference, but his previous one was very sort of adamant and stressing the fact that there were so many players recovering and coming back from international duty. So I still think even after Saturday, some of those players playing a lot of the game on Saturday will be rested for this one. But it's interesting to look at. And looking at Rennes, they're in poor form in Liga, before the game against us. And when I look at that first game, it was really defined by that red card, wasn't it? It was a strange first half, and the game was sort of dead after that. Chelsea scoring 2 penalties, both from Timo Werner, and then getting the third in the second half. But there definitely was a sense Rennes could have got back into that game. And I think set-piece defending is going to be key for Chelsea once again, which we have improved that recently to great effect, really. And let's hope we see that again tomorrow night, because I think that's where Rennes will look to sort of capitalise to get into the game tomorrow against Chelsea. And I do think that the fact that we were 2-0 up at half-time, I think I was a bit surprised about that. You want to see a bit more fluidity and sharpness in our play, because getting 2 penalties in one half and a red card as well is a rarity. So Chelsea need to be on better form, I think, tomorrow night. But we got the job done last time. Let's hope we get it done again tomorrow night. Just looking at it in terms of rotation and sort of my team now, 4-3-3, I think, obviously, is the formation now. Similar backline, obviously. Edouard Mendy in goal. Chelsea are yet to concede a goal in the Champions League this season. I think it just shows you the improvement in our defence so far this season. It's been amazing, and it's the same, in the Premier League in terms of the amount of clean sheets Edouard Mendy has. He's been so influential, so hopefully he can keep another tomorrow night against his former club. Back four, I am going to make a change at right back. I do think Dave will come in here. I know Reece played the last game against Rennes, but I just think, Dave is a good player to rotate and bring in. I just think such an experienced head. I do think this could be an area of Reece playing a lot of football, not only pre-international break, but also playing for England over that international break as well, and playing on Saturday, that early kickoff. I just wonder if this is an area Frank will look to rotate. So Dave will come into the team for me. The back two, I think Kurt Zuma, who's in fine form, the best form probably of his Chelsea career right now, alongside THIAGO SILVA. I do think Silva will start this game. I was toying with the idea of putting Rudiger in again, but I think the fact that Frank could sub THIAGO SILVA off, say 65 minutes gone if the game's going well, and rest Silva that way, I think THIAGO will come back into this starting a lineup for the game tomorrow night. I also think Ben Chilwell will start. He came off before the full-time whistle for Emerson on Saturday against Newcastle, which I also think means he'll start tomorrow night as well. Such a key player for us. I mean, that is the one concern about that area, is sort of the drop for me in quality when you take out Ben Chilwell. We even saw this in a brief moment against Newcastle right in, with Andy Carroll running through and Emerson keeping him on side. I mean, that is a concern for me if Chilwell was to sustain an injury and he had to be out for a game, but I still do think he'll start tomorrow night. Midfield three, I think Kante may be rested. Now, you could make the same argument I did for THIAGO SILVA and say Kante starts, but then you take him off quite early. The midfield three we played against Rennes in the first game was Jorginho, Kante and Mason Mount, but I do think Jorginho may start in a deeper role instead of N'Golo Kante, just to rotate Kante. I want to keep him fit. I want to keep him firing. He's in brilliant form at the moment. And I just think maybe having him on the bench is a better option, personally, in my opinion, which means Mateo Kovacic keeps his place in the midfield three, and so does Mason Mount. Even though we do have Kai Havertz back, I think Kai will likely come off the bench for some minutes later in the game. Then looking at that front three, I think Hakim Ziyech will keep his place once again. Had a slightly disappointing game on Saturday, but after the heights of Sheffield United, he can't be like that every week. But let's hope he can influence the game a bit more tomorrow night against Rennes, because when he gets that left foot working, it's a wonder, and it can be so effective and deadly for Chelsea in attack. I do think Callum Hudson-Odoi may be given a start tomorrow. I think if Callum is not starting or not featuring heavily in games like this, I think you do have to be concerned for him. Once again, the sort of nature of this game, Frank could go for Timo Werner once again, but Werner's played so much football recently. I just think eventually it's going to catch up with him, especially as we go into the winter period, and I don't want Werner to burn out too quickly, and it would really hurt Chelsea's form. So I think Werner may be given a rest here off the bench. I think Hudson-Odoi is a great opportunity. He had a really positive international break for the England under-21s, so let's hope if he does start, he can take his opportunity again for Frank Lampard. I also think there'll be rotation up top. I think Frank's comments about Olivier Giroud and the speculation recently, I just get a sense that Olivier Giroud may be starting tomorrow night against Rennes. He did come off the bench on Saturday late on, and I just think this is a good opportunity to bring Giroud in. This is nothing against Tammy Abraham, who's one of Chelsea's best players at the moment, in form, scoring goals, having a positive impact. I would have no issue with him starting. I just sometimes will listen to stuff that Frank says in a pre-match press conference and really stressing the importance of a player like Giroud, and I just wonder, is this a good opportunity to rotate once again, have Giroud start the game, very experienced forward, can score a goal potentially and make an impact, but then have both Tammy Abraham and Timo Werner on the bench. That's a really strong looking bench there for Frank. So that's my starting lineup. I'm not entirely sure how much rotation there will be. I know probably some of you guys will disagree and maybe go for the full strength team, which I wouldn't be too stunned by, as I say, with that 5 sub rule. But that's my lineup. Give me yours in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you did enjoy it, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Follow me on Twitter @SonofChelsea, and I'll see you again.